me out that I'm going to be a write-in.
Yeah, we're here at the Occupy Caravan event. People from Occupy Caravan, I guess there was about, 35 or so people just came by. We had a little meet and greet here. We talked about actions we were going to take against the Fed. We talked about the unconstitutional nature of the Federal Reserve Bank, which is right there. How the Federal Reserve Bank violates Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution, about how the Federal Reserve Bank violates Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution. We were discussing Dominion power and their devastation and destruction of the environment, including but not limited to mountaintop removal. Dominion power is one of the biggest proponents of mountaintop removal in order to extract coal from the ground. They have lots of coal burning power plants that really destroy and poison the water. We discussed and a lot of people were informed about the nuclear power plant at North Anna that is leaking radioactive tritium as a result of an earthquake. And this was no surprise to anyone in this area because since the power plant was built, everyone involved with Dominion Power and the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has known that the North Anna nuclear power plant is sitting right on top of an active fault line, which has damaged the plant, which has resulted in leaking of tritium at 3 times the EPA standards, and that's now found in wells in Louisa County, not far from where we're standing right now. Many of us found common ground in talking about the fact that we want representation in our government. We have a document that guarantees us representation in our government, and it's being subverted by the institutions that control our government, most specifically the Federal Reserve Bank, which is standing in our background right now, which controls every aspect of the U.S. economy. And the problem with that is that the Federal Reserve Bank is controlled by an international banking cartel headed by something called the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland. So instead of United States citizens and the American people controlling their economy and the value of their currency and having a say over what sets the employment rate in this country, it is an international banking cartel that headed by the Bank for International Settlements that makes coordinated moves with the European Central Bank, the Bank of Japan, the Bank of England, etc., all the private central banks of the world. This is illegal. I'm running for sheriff of the city of Richmond. I'm running for sheriff to get in control of the jails and the guns, because the people who are in control of the jails and the guns now, the Richmond police, the state police, the Federal Reserve Bank police, all constitutional officers, they make a mockery out of the document that they swear an oath to uphold. And they do nothing but defend the people who commit treason against the United States Constitution. The people who violate Article 3, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution, they're sitting right there. They're sitting up in that building. Their names, we know them. Ben Bernanke, Jeff Lacker, Timothy Geithner, former head of the New York Federal Reserve Bank, Alan Greenspan, the man who some who have known him over the years wasn't convinced that he even exists. I can tell you, Alan, I can tell you, Mr. Greenspan, you exist, and I know that you exist because you are, in reality, now and in the past, in violation of Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution and Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution. Article 3, Section 3 being the part of the Constitution that discusses treason. So we know who these people are, and we plan on making arrests, and we plan on telling every one of our elected officials unless you enforce this document, then you are on the side of its enemies. You are on the side of protecting the people who are committing treason against the United States. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. We can't have any more planetary destruction. We can't have any more wars based on lies. We can't have any more false flag attacks like we had on September 11th, which was completely directed by the Federal Reserve Bank. And don't believe me on any of this stuff. I know this stuff is true, but it's up to you all to find this out and verify it for yourself. And you know what? If what I'm saying is not true, I've said lots of things about lots of people over the years, and not one person has been able to dispute anything that I say. Attempt to prove me wrong. Thank you very much. My name is Chris Dorsey. I'm running for sheriff of the city of Richmond. We're not going to tolerate this nonsense anymore. It's time to get things done. It's time to enforce the Constitution. Thank you very much.